sails in, gives it to Henry, and he is stopped.
So on a 2-point play, the clock does not
That's
run.
right, untimed down.
And normally we're always talking about the winning team at the end of the game, but this is a rare situation.
It's too big. It's so big.
It's 20 years of dominance, basically.
And the thing is, you don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. In Brady's own words yesterday to us, I don't know. I really don't. We do know this. When he walks off this field tonight, he is unrestricted. He is a free agent for the first time in his career. Cannot be franchised. He can do whatever he wants. He said, who knows, maybe I sign a 5-year extension. He's always talked about wanting to play until the age of 45. He'll be 43 next August.
Oh. He's coming back. You lose a game like this, especially when he threw the ball the way he did. I mean, I know that not his best game, obviously, all that stuff, but he didn't get much help this whole year. And Tennessee, give them credit. They came into a place that doesn't happen very often.
Back deep, Edelman picks it up.
Here's your Music City Miracle, Jim, right?
He moves straight ahead, loses the... Tennessee may score again before it's all said and done. Time runs out. The Titans take out the defending champions.
Well, Wild Card Saturday was quite a hoot, wasn't it?
That was a hoot.
Let's see what Wild Card Sunday holds. NFL Game Day Morning presented by Intuit TurboTax and a Wild Card Sunday on the air.
Do knuckle? Are we knuckling?
Four men in blue. Four men in blue. Various different forms of blue. We did not coordinate this. Clearly, we go from solids to plaids, from right to left, and a vest. We got 3 pieces. We got it all going on. Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, and of course, right over there, Michael Irvin. Let's take a look at how Wild Card Saturday wrapped up. Tom Brady coming out. Yes, LFG and everything. Was that Bob Kraft's handwriting on that banner? It was Derrick Henry's night, and it's his world, and we were all rent-paying in it. What a night for him. The regular season rusher, leading rusher, just dominated over 200 yards from scrimmage. And the last play of the game, essentially last pass of Tom Brady's Gillette season, perhaps Gillette career, a Logan Ryan pick six. He missed one at the end of the first half. He did not miss the one at the end of the game to seal the deal for Mike Vrabel is the coach who comes in and one and done's potentially the last iteration of Brady Belichick in New England, and the Titans move on. Kurt, I give you the first thought on what we saw last night in Foxborough.
Well, I mean, I think there was a couple things that jumped out at me. And, of course, Derrick Henry and running the football against Bill Belichick and not being able to solve that issue. But I think more than that, it was about the Patriots late in this game. You know, that you felt like, okay, the Titans did a lot of good things, and they were there in the end, but they just left it open for Tom Brady and the Patriots to make that one final drive, which they always do in Foxborough, in the playoffs.
This was the one,
and they just didn't do it. And, and even that, because if it would have been N'Keal Harry, or if that would have been Matt Lacoste, or somebody that dropped it, you go, man, it's a microcosm of what's happened all year long.
Kurt,
but our one guy, our go-to guy, our man, for him to miss that play in that moment really was a microcosm of everything that had happened all year long, that they just weren't able to overcome the lack of consistency that they had offensively. And yesterday was just another sign of that.
Yeah, and the Achilles heel that this team has had all year was the passing game, predominantly throwing the ball to receivers on the outside, and it showed up again. They didn't do it very well at all. But what surprised me was the number 1 ranked defense of the Patriots. The number 1 ranked defense. And Bill Belichick always has a good tackling defense. They're tough guys that can bring you down, tackle you in space. They've led the league in tackles percentage over and over again. But I knew it, you knew it, the fans knew it, the Patriots knew it. That guy right there, 22, was going to get the football time and time again, and they couldn't stop him. 34 carries, 182 yards in crunch time, and they couldn't stop him.
I mean, what about the 2-minute drive? I mean, you got a 2-minute drive at the end of the first half, and you're thinking, we got to throw the football to get it. They handed it off and walked down the field and put points on the board, and you're just like, that just does not happen, especially against a Bill Belichick defense and the number 1 defense in the league.
And I talked about it. You have to be physical to beat this team. But what stuck out to me was the chess match that goes on between Belichick and Vrabel. It really was. It was incredible to watch, even late in the game with the clock. You know, Belichick was hot about how he was handling the clock and running out the clock. But I loved even in the post game listening to some of the players talk, and they asked, "What about the banners?" And the one guy said, Oh, yeah, I saw the banners. And the other guy, you weren't supposed to look at the banners. So you know Vrabel had already said to him, listen, don't let that get in your head. It was a chess match, and these guys, they were ready to play New England physically, but they were ready mentally to beat New England.
Was there any part of Bill Belichick as they were going through that whole punt sequence and all that time that inside is going, I taught him.
I taught him well.
I mean, I taught him well. He's doing well.
Yes.
It's working against me.
Yeah.
But man, he's a little bit of pride in that.
So the Titans now move on. When we first came on the air, one of the great rivalries in the game was Titans-Ravens. They had just separated divisions. And Steve McNair was a co-MVP of the first season that we came on the air at the NFL Network. So seeing Titans-Ravens next week is an old-school kind of matchup that we look forward to. Meanwhile, the Texans and Deshaun Watson down 16-0, forcing overtime at 19 apiece. How did Deshaun Watson do this? I mean, just getting out of a sack and Taiwan Jones to do the rest. An unbelievable turn of events. Instead of being 3rd and long for Deshaun Watson towards the end of the first potential overtime, Josh Allen and the Bills let him do this. Pirouettes out.
How many times have we seen him get out of trouble like that? Gosh.
I mean, the player of the year prior to Watson year was getting kicked in the face and scoring a touchdown to beat the Raiders. But that now setting up Fairbairn for the game winner. And that's how the Texans now move on. They take on the Kansas City Chiefs next weekend. And that was truly a remarkable contest. I mean, we could literally fill a 4-hour show with just the highlight of the last 5 minutes of regulation and all the decisions that were made and all the poor execution that we saw that did finally lead to a game-tying field goal for the Bills. Very rare for a team to be up 16-0 in a playoff game and then be lucky to have overtime forced. But that is the way Wild Card Weekend started. Now let's talk about how it's going to finish by going on location, presenting